Hello everybody. Sorry about the wait. We had a little bit of technical stuff going on. But my name's Anthony Huber, and this is Dustin McAfee, and we're with Elo Touch Solutions. I work with the cloud side, and he works with the Android side. So we're going to be going over basic overviews of how our tech works and some overview of the actual tech stack that we use and how all that works. So we have two videos, one for my side, one for the Android side, because we were told it might make the virtual participants a little bit easier for them to participate. But we're going to play both videos, and then we'll take questions at the end, and hopefully that'll go smoothly. Okay.
Hopefully this works.
Hello, my name is Anthony Huber, and I am with Elo Touch Solutions. Today, I'll be talking about our AWS stack.
It's not working.
As an example of
It's not playing through the...
Hang on, small technical difficulty.
Yeah. Of course. Oh, wait. No. Should be like an audio thing. There we go. Okay. Oh, but it's just playing through your thing. Yeah. Yes, sir. It's Mac. I don't think turning it up's going to change anything. Sound output. Display port?
Yeah, sounds right. Display
I
port.
mean, it's HDMI.
Yeah, but this is display port.
We've been up all night, just out of curiosity. Anybody?
I'm not hearing anything.
Everybody, you've been up all night? Just for the hell of it, or just stay here? Well, because I live in Oak Ridge.
I heard something.
Yeah, this
UI is like...
But it actually is just full value.
That's it. We're working up. My name is Anthony Huber, and I am with Elo Touch Solutions.
You want it louder?
Today, I'll be talking about our AWS stack as an example of how to use AWS services for both applications, as well as a discussion on database design for DynamoDB. To start off, I will be going over descriptions of some basic AWS services before we take a look at an application diagram.
Is this working on Discord?
DynamoDB is a fully managed, serverless, NoSQL database that provides fast and predictable performance with scalability. AWS S3 is an object storage service that offers scalability, data availability, security, and performance. API Gateway manages API routing and authentication. AWS IoT offers us a WebSocket message management service.
It's not working on Discord.
Working on this?
Nope.
Wait, are you, one thing is, if you're sharing the screen, you might share the, share your screen and the audio.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's not audio coming through?
Yeah, you have to do it by application.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Code functions that could be triggered by multiple checks. A managed, serverless, NoSQL database that provides fast and predictable performance with scalability. AWS S3 is an object storage service that offers scalability, data availability, security, and performance. API Gateway manages API routing and authentication. AWS IoT offers us a WebSocket message management service.
Still not working. Interesting.
Oh, so, this is a little bit round up. I could unmute, I could unmute my mic because I'm picking up, the audio from the video myself. Or the mic that you're wearing.
Yeah, but I don't know if the audio, it's like coming from the back. I don't know if it'll be... This is nice.
Alright, so, I think now that I'm muted, we can start the video.
Serverless, as I can get those descriptions of some basic AWS services before we take a look at an application diagram. DynamoDB. Hello, my name is Anthony Huber, and I am with Elo Touch.
Oh, he says you can hear now.
Today, I'll be talking about our AWS stack as an example of how to use AWS services to create a serverless application, as well as a discussion on database design for DynamoDB. To start off, I will be going over descriptions of some basic AWS services before we take a look at an application diagram. DynamoDB is a fully managed serverless NoSQL database that provides fast and predictable performance and scalability. AWS S3 is an object storage service that offers scalability, data availability, security, and performance. API Gateway manages API routing and authentication. AWS IoT offers us a WebSocket message management service. Lambda hosts serverless code functions that can be triggered by multiple different event types. And EventBridge manages event-based code triggers. We can have Lambda functions listen and trigger based on events. Okay, so here we have the application diagram, and I will start on the left side for the device flow. So first, when a device comes online, it will send a REST API request that's picked up by API Gateway. API Gateway authenticates to make sure that this is in fact one of our devices. Once API Gateway is done this, it will then send the request to the appropriate Lambda function, which will set up necessary settings and connection info and send that information back to the device. Now the device has the necessary information, it can connect to our IoT service. The device will then subscribe to relevant topics. These can be topics like its serial number or specific messages to just this device, and also the organization ID that the device is associated with, so that it can receive messages that are meant to go through all of the devices for a certain organization. Also, the device can send messages through the IoT system and trigger specific Lambda functions. Now on the right, we have our end users. End users will connect to our web client that has been hosted on a S3 bucket. Users will create accounts, and the account creation is mostly handled by Amazon Cognito service. Cognito makes it easier to store and authenticate users, and it allows us to not have the need to manage and store them inside Dynamo. Now, once logged in, the client will make requests to our services, which are first routed through the API Gateway. API Gateway will authenticate and properly route them to each of our different microservices. Now, our main services are the device service and the content service. They deal with all functions related to devices and content, respectively. The device service can communicate to and from the IoT service here. So if a device service needs to communicate with another service, it can publish an event through the event bridge. Any function that is interested in this event will also trigger. This also allows us to send messages through the IoT system to and from devices. And also, we have our content service. Through the web client, we can upload content such as APK files, and video files, all sorts of media. We can upload this to the content service that will then store these files inside of an AWS S3 bucket. Service will perform business logic on the file and then insert them. We can stream these files to and from the S3 bucket from both the web client and also the device. In order to download an APK, the device will first send messages to the IoT service. It will then receive the relevant information that it needs in order to directly download these files through the content service. And so this has just been a broader overview of how our devices and users can connect to our serverless application. I hope this has either exposed you to new architecture or help clarify how these services can be used. Now, I will be going over a single table database design for DynamoDB in which all of our different entities will be located inside of a single table. So, relational databases are easy to use and understand, but when your database scales, certain relational queries will slow down. While convenient, SQL joins are also expensive, thereby scanning large portions of multiple tables in a relational database, comparing different values, and returning the result. The difficulty with DynamoDB is that it closely guards against any operations that won't scale, and relational joins don't scale. Rather than working to make them better, DynamoDB has just removed the ability to use them altogether. Now, without joins, how do we get related data? If we have a user that wanted to get information about themselves, and also about their online orders, we would have to make two different requests for data. We would have to manually merge them together. Obviously, this would be even worse than if we just used a relational join. So how do we solve this issue? Well, one way we can do it is by rejoining all of our data inside of a single table. So in DynamoDB, your primary key can be separated into either just a partition key or a combination of a partition key and a sort key. Partition key is denoted as PK, sort key is SK. So normally, we might have profile entities and also order entities separated into two different tables. And their partition key might be what we have here for the sort key. ID tier, ID tier. But then we would need to make multiple requests in order to get both of the relevant information and then merge them together. So instead of this, we can see that both profiles and orders can use the same partition key. Here we are using the user partition key. So we can group both of these into the same collection, and we can use the sort key in order to separate the different types of entities. Now, we can use Dynamo's query API as a query request on just the partition key, and all items that have a duplicate partition key will get returned. We'll get multiple rows with multiple entities. So if we make this request just on our user here, then we will get both his profile and all of his orders. This speeds up performance because all data that's under the same partition key is physically located near each other, increasing the speed of the query. Now, this type of design has its faults. It's not useful in every situation, but it can also quickly complicate your data. Obviously, you do some of the different types of entities, this can get really confusing. So the best thing you can do is meticulously map out your data prior to creating a database, because adding new access patterns later on will be extremely difficult. But in general, if you can use a single table in your DynamoDB design, this will significantly increase your scalability and speed of your application. So, this concludes my presentation on some AWS architecture and a potentially new database. Thank you.
Okay. So
So
that
that
was
was
our first
our first-
video on the cloud side, and now we're going to move on to the presentation for the Android side. Still working. Just start the stream over. Yep. Okay.
Hello, my name is Dustin McAfee. I'm an Android developer at Elo Talk, and today I'm going to briefly go over what we do. I'm going to talk about the Android operating system and how we can fit it. I'll start with a brief introduction of what the Android operating system is and how applications are compiled and installed on it. Then I will describe a top-down view of how we control our Android devices for what people, including the diversity of our supported operating systems, architectures, and peripheral devices. Last, I will give a bottom-up approach on how we accomplish the task of supporting so many devices on so many different platforms. Android is an operating system that at its core runs off of a modified version of Linux. It is mostly open source with a few exceptions that are generally specific. And the Android open source project is licensed by Software License 2.0. Source code for AOSV is stored in about 300 to 800 Git repositories, depending on the Android operating system version. As you can see, there are many libraries. One of these libraries is the Android runtime, which is very similar to the JVM. This is what a Java or Kotlin application runs on the Android device. Android applications are generally written in Java or Kotlin, which get compiled into Dalvik executable code, or DEX. This is analogous to Java JVM. The DEX files and any resources you have are filed into an Android package, APK file. We use this APK to share applications to Android users. This is the type of file that gets downloaded from the Play Store. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it. Before I continue, I should discuss a little bit about how an APK is packaged. The Java Android compiler kit and the Jack intermediate library form the basis of the compilation process. All of this is managed by an Android plugin, so you can just call one to compile the APK. Under the hood, the Android archive AAR file is almost the same as the Java archive, JAR file, except the AAR file may contain visual such as layouts. You can include multiple jar and AAR files, just as you'd be able to in a regular Java application. And just like this, Jack and Jill work together to compile and link these files into DEX files and package them into an Android package, an APK file. From a device's perspective, a top-down view would be looking at the REST API. The device will register to a backend that's set up WebSocket, where it will take commands in the form of JSON. There are many different settings in an Android device. You can somewhat get a feel of how many there are just by opening a universal settings application on your phone. The device is not only able to change these settings on command, but also play content such as APKs, videos, PowerPoints, schedule recurring or singly occurring tasks, such as playing scheduled content, rebooting, updating, going idle, setting screensavers, etc. You then have control over enabling and disabling USB ports. We have devices that run Android KitKat, Android Nougat, Android Oreo, and Android. The architectures of all these devices are not all the same. So how do we do it? A good example to look at is how we control our peripheral devices that are the Android device itself. Users capable of creating an APK that controls and running this APK on all of our different operating systems and architectures will work the same way as expected. This is taken directly from our website, and it's just as you can see, we have many peripheral devices such as barcode readers, LED lights, power over Ethernet modules, magnetic stripe readers, NFC readers, and so on. To give you a better idea of what these peripherals are or what they do, this video will give some context on the above that.
Yeah.
We didn't correlate with Craig on programming.
Yeah, it's possible they didn't see it.
Pretty lovely video.
Did you bring a device to demo? Did you bring a device to demo?
I would have had to bring like 3 different devices. Like, we had to have webcam with people online. I couldn't find webcam.
Hmm.
The first thing, as you would imagine, when implementing a peripheral device is obtain correct Linux drivers. No big surprise there. Android also has a hardware abstract layer which works with Linux kernel, so the API and framework of the device. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this, but this is how it's done. A Java library is developed in the framework for each Android operating system that interacts with the peripheral. Sometimes these libraries need to be developed differently depending on the Android operating system, or depending on the hardware architecture, chip, or the kernel drivers, or kernel itself. Once support has been finished for the virtual device, we create a library which has a specific API with specific function declarations that are identical across our Elo Android platform. Once we have that, we are able to compile an AAR using the specific function declarations that we have developed across different platforms. We then share this AAR file and documentation on how to use it with customers who want to develop applications with our virtual hardware. With the capability of controlling large groups of devices and their peripherals, we are able to develop large-scale business solutions. This is simply a photo of a restaurant floor plan. However, by looking at the floor plan, one might be able to see just how much potential our Elo products have. For example, this restaurant can have Elo Android devices that control their cash registers, point-of-sale system, and self-order kiosks. It could also have Android devices controlling smart kitchen appliances such as fryers, ovens, or refrigerators. There could even be infrared cameras taking temperatures of people walking in the establishment, making sure no one is sick, or even possibly it's checking for people who aren't wearing masks. These are just a few examples for a restaurant. But in any case, the only limit here is your imagination. And with that, I thank you for I will give you a few references from Android and Elo.
Okay. So those were our videos. Sorry about all the technical difficulties. But does anybody have any questions? Yeah. Okay.
Here's for most of you on the Android side, what has been your favorite project that you worked on? Yeah, girl.
Tell us.
I think you might want to repeat the question for the people on Discord.
So she's asking what our favorite project that we've worked on with Elo is.
So I think for me personally, when I first started Elo, I got tasked with kind of solving a bunch of bugs that were inside of our web browser application. It was just a user application that we have. And there was like, it's a very basic program if you've ever built a web browser application for a mobile device.
So, we needed to extend the functionality to do this, that, and the other. And so when getting down to brass tacks, I had to rewrite the entire application 3 different times. And the final output was just, I don't know, there's no bugs anymore in this application. So that was probably,
That's a bold statement.
yeah, stick by that. I don't think there's a single bug in that application.
For me, I've worked on like a lot of technical aspects of extending and fixing bugs that we've had other offshore teams working on. But my favorite part is working with the content distribution side of it. It's more visual and it's a lot of user interface stuff. And I really enjoy that part of it. But right now we're working on updating everything towards the Amazon stack. And it's been really nice getting to finally like dive deep into all of that stuff in an enterprise level capacity. And the possibilities with it is just endless. It's great.
Scalability of it is
Mhm.
tremendous. Yeah.
I have another question. I noticed that there's quite a few people interested in your internships that you're
Mhm.
offering, and for those people, I guess, what is something about Elo's culture as a workplace
Mhm.
that you really like and enjoy, and hopefully will get people more interested in applying for your opportunity?
Yeah, so one of the co-presidents, Andre Cosma,
Yeah.
he was actually one of our Android interns. So if you have any specific questions towards somebody who's actually been one of the interns, you can ask him.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Do that. Flood him.
What about for you guys? What is
Or
something y'all like?
Well, right now we're all working from home. The Knoxville office is about to be upgraded, as Craig talked about in his talk. We're getting a huge new office with everything brand new, top of the line. But that'll be nice.
I think it's like the motivation. So like we started working from home and we didn't lose any productivity doing
Yeah.
it. And everyone is so motivated. And I don't know, it's a little hard sometimes because we have to work with to correlate with teams across the world, right, to get everything correctly. So you got to make sure your schedule's open for certain things. But everyone is so motivated to get everything done. It's really nice.
And we try really hard to keep everybody talking and helping out whenever we can with everything, with everyone. So we make sure to talk at least once a week with the entire team, a weekly stand-up, not daily. That seems to work better for us right now. But with an intern, you would have constant contact with either
Me for
Dustin
Android.
or me with Cloud.
Yeah, so so for our Android side right now, I'm on a team that does specifically Android 10 right now stuff. I mean, whenever something pops up, we go and we fix something from another Android operating system if it's necessary. But so if you were to apply for the Android internship, you'd be working with the Android 10 environment, and mainly, anyway, it's not like a guarantee. But it's, most of our work right now is trying to get our iSeries 4.0 up, which is running Android 10, and that's about most of our focus at the point.
I noticed that y'all said that there's a lot of like embedded systems for embedded devices. What sort of like, do y'all work with microcontrollers specifically, or?
that support to be general across all of our devices and work the exact same way. And then we'll say you want to develop an application, then we'll just throw you an SDK. It's just like we'll throw you like a jar file and be like, this jar file will work across all of our devices. Yeah, it'll just be an API for a bunch of function calls that control the devices and stuff.
Thank you so much.
But a lot of it is if there's a bug, then debugging it. Sometimes you'll find a bug in the kernel code or something like that. So even though we may not always write the kernel code for it, it's always important to debug that stuff.
Okay. Is there any other questions? Anybody on Discord?
I think well,
Not doing that? Okay.
I think the coolest microcontroller thing that I've ever got to do was there was a company that made so this controller had a pre-trained AI algorithm on it, and it was like hardware AI. And it was an infrared camera that read things in front of it. So like hand gestures. You can do like 1 tap, 2 tap, swipes, all sorts of things. And then it would throw events to the USB. We had to write our own Linux kernel driver for this.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and so we would map the events to specific events and then fire them. We did it really quickly, so what we did is we fired them directly to the application that signed up for it. So it wouldn't work with the firmware, like the settings app, just yet. But it was kind of like a proof of concept. Can we do this?
Right.
And so you can.
How long did it take to kind of figure
It
it out?
It was actually not too long. The longest part was to write the kernel driver for it, because we had to make sure it worked with the HID device and then get the input events like map and everything. But that was about 3 weeks to get that done.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then once we had that, mapping it to like the user program to actually navigate, that was probably less than a week. Yeah.
Probably took me like 6 months.
Yeah, we did that for United because as a response to COVID, they're looking into touchless touchscreens.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I think that's a pretty neat idea. It's something that we might eventually get into. The problem was the AI was trained on a very limited set of things, so it wasn't very precise. Yeah. Recording the demo was probably the hardest thing. Give you carpal tunnel. Like, nope, I need to make it work for the video so the proof of concept works, you know? But, you know, it's not precise, so.
It's just going to get better, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anything else? Any more questions?
What has been your least favorite project?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Well, I know that. When I first started, I was hired on, and the first big task that I was given was to fix and do code completion on all of our unit tests. Yeah, that was pain. It was a huge spaghetti code repository, and now it's not, hopefully, so.
I would probably say, and I know this is very bad to say, but probably my least favorite thing was learning about how to deal with the REST API. Yeah, we have about like 200 or 300 different REST API calls, and they're like, I don't know if you know what like a demultiplexer is, but it's pretty much like demultiplexing into the correct function calls, and it's just like massive switch functions, you know, switch cases. Oh my god, like thousands of lines of switch cases. It's awful.
Yeah, documentation's pretty important for that.
Yeah. Variable names are very important. Luckily, we do pretty well with our variable names.
Okay.
Say that speaker one more time, I guess.
Thank you guys for coming. These kind of events are really important. You guys can get a lot of really good real-world experience doing this kind of stuff instead of just working on a 100-line file in Vim in class. That's not like super useful, honestly. But this kind of stuff is great for employers to see, so make sure you put stuff like this on your resumes. Also, we have internship postings, and I will make sure to remind everybody about that in the Discord. So thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.